Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters in 3D, a 2013 release, a 1 hour and 45-minute film, 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio, so you will get the black bars at the top and the bottom if you're watching this on a television set. DTS HD 7.1 sound and Dolby Digital sound. This is 5.8 on International Movie Database, 42% Rotten Tomatoes critics score, 55% Rotten Tomatoes audience approval score. This is directed by Thor Freudenthal. This came to me from one of my subs, Mike G, had suggested this. I thought I'd go ahead and pick it up. This stars Logan Lerman as Percy. You got Alexandria, the lovely Alexandria Daddario as Annabeth. You've got Douglas Smith as Tyson, Levin Rambin, the beautiful Levin Rambin as Clarice, I think it is. Brandon T. Jackson as Grover, and Jack Abel as Luke. Look, this is the second in a series. It does lead into what would be a third movie, but I don't see where they're going to be making that anytime soon, based on a series of novels. I think it was 5 books, and I think they were going to make 5 movies, but they got to 2 at this point. I'm going to give you a little bit about the plot here, then we'll get into the 3D. These folks, these half-bloods, are in a camp. They're secure. They've got this a barrier around them, and the barrier comes down, and a bull comes in. One of the most fantastic-looking mechanical bulls I've ever seen. Comes into the camp, just tears it up, and then now they got to figure out why the barrier came down. The barrier came down because what was supporting that barrier was poisoned. And so now they got to go on this quest. They got to go on this quest to get this golden fleece so that they can bring the barrier back up. And then you've got the nemesis in here, Luke, which stars Jack Abel. Jack Abel stars as Luke. He's the nemesis in here, and he wants to get the golden fleece, and he wants to bring Kronos back. And it becomes a battle who's going to get to the fleece. That's a little bit about the plot. I don't want to spoil it too much. A lot of people said this is a lot like Harry Potter and the Half-Bloods and all that other stuff. Look, I didn't see the first movie. I haven't read these books. I have seen Harry Potter. I get the connection. I do. But I got to say, as a 64-year-old guy, and I watched this with my 68-year-old brother, this had a lot of childhood drawbacks to me, to Jason and the Argonauts, and Sinbad and the Seven Seas. I mean, this movie has a lot of Greek mythology mixed in with modern times. I mean, you're going to New York in here. It's just, it's hard to place it at first, but there's a lot of that Greek mythology in here. Of course, that's what it's based on, but it also mixes with the modern times, which makes for a great Saturday popcorn film. We sit there with my brother, and we really enjoy this, and we really look forward to the third one, and I hope they do make that third one. Let's talk about the soundtrack. Soundtrack is great. Didn't have to mess with my volume at all. It fit really well. Let's talk about some of the stars in here. Logan Lerman as Percy. I like this guy. I thought he did a good job. Started to get vested in him. I thought the movie was a little rushed, at 1:45. I thought they could have stretched it out just a little bit. I really did. But I got vested in him just a little bit. But this Alexandra Daddario's Annabeth, I got vested in her. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a guy or whatever, but I thought she stole the show. I really liked the way she acted in this movie. Very nice, very good, very good. Let's talk about Douglas Smith as Tyson. He's a Cyclops. Turns out he's a brother to Percy. He did a great job. He really did. And there's a little bit of brotherly thing going on there, which I appreciate that. Although, again, I feel it was a little rushed, and I wish they would have expanded on that just a little bit. Brandon T. Jackson as Grover. He plays a great part. He really does. There's some humor in here, too. There's a couple of... I laughed quite a few times in here, so there is some humor in here. And then you got... Jake Abel as Luke. He plays a good villain. He really does. He plays a good villain. This Levin Rambin is Clarice. She's a bully in here, She's a very attractive woman, plays a good part here, but she's a bully in here. She really is. And she kind of gets it handed to her. A lot of great CGI, great scenes. You know, this takes place, like I said, in New York City, the Devil's Triangle, great monsters, great CGI, absolutely fantastic in that respect. Let's talk about the 3D now. How is the 3D? Well, the 3D was good. If I put it up in one word, it was good. You're going to get a lot of pop-outs. You're going to get stick-outs. This is 2013. This is the height of all that stuff. You've got good depth. I'd much rather watch this in 3D than in 2D, absolutely. There's some great scenes when they're going down, being sucked down into this whirlpool, and you feel like you're actually going down inside this giant whirlpool. You're coming down this wave, and you really feel like you're going down that wave. This mechanical bull in here, absolutely great in 3D. And that's another thing about this movie. It's kind of, to me, it's fresh. I mean, I've never seen a mechanical bull like this. And some of these monsters and stuff, absolutely fresh. They look great in 3D. You're going to see a lot of tails sticking out and things like that. Here's my biggest complaint about the 3D, and it really sinks my 3D rating, and I'm sorry to say, but it was a very dark transfer. Now, I've seen this before. I've seen it in A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, dark transfer. I've seen it in a few other movies, and I know I'm going to be coming up on it on Harry Potter and the last Harry Potter. I think it was the Deathly Hallows. That's in 2 parts. I know one of those is a very dark transfer, and it just kind of kills it. I actually had to kick my brightness all the way up to 22. And when you do that, you kind of lose some contrast and things like that. So it didn't have to be a dark transfer. It just didn't. And maybe it's just my copy. I don't know. But even my brother said, man, that was so dark. It kind of took away from it. So that's going to take away from my 3D rating. So anyway, that is my take on Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters in 3D. I'm going to give the movie itself, because I had fun. My brother had fun. It was a Saturday. Popcorn, pretzels, brought back the old times, the old Jason and the Argonauts. So we had a good time. I'm going to give it 3.75 out of 5 stars for the movie itself. For the 3D, I'm going to give it 3.75 out of 5 stars for the 3D. Also, I'd have gave it a lot higher if I didn't have a dark transfer. Okay, so that's my take on it. So what'd you think? Did you see it? Did you see it in 3D? Did you see it in 2D? Did you see it at the theaters? Leave some comments below. Tell me what you think about this to the first Percy Jackson film. I don't think that one's in 3D, so I won't be reviewing that one. I really hope we get the third one coming out here. I would really appreciate that. I would like that. Leave some comments below. Let me know your thoughts about this, and ties in with how people have compared this to Harry Potter. Leave some thoughts down below. Leave some comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Got a lot more reviews coming up. I want you to have a good night. As always, God bless.